Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia. In today's video, we are going to be testing out some new palettes that I got from Melt. I am so excited to try these palettes. This is the Melt Cosmetics. This is the Monarca blush palette and the Amor y Mariposas. Sorry, I know I'm probably butchering that, but that is the eyeshadow palette here. The eyeshadow palette retails for $70. The blush palette retails for $58. And then I did pick up the mirror as well. The mirror retails for $19. Now, I purchased mine off of Melt's website directly, but they did release this collection, all except the mirror, I believe, at Sephora. Sephora doesn't get all of Melt's collection, so I wanted to make sure that I went ahead and picked it up. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So, the blush, or sorry, not the blush palette, the eyeshadow palette here. Gorgeous packaging, absolutely stunning. Love it. It comes with 20 different eyeshadows. I'm going to go ahead and swatch these for you guys. All right, so these all swatched so amazing. The mattes in this palette were extremely creamy, swatched flawlessly. They almost felt like a cream, and then these shimmers definitely felt like a cream. They're not, but they are so smooth and creamy, guys. This, just from swatches, is gonna be really good. So you will see later in the tutorial part of this video how they actually perform. But yes, I love these colors. These will definitely stain this row right here, so I would just, you know, be aware of that. They definitely will stain your eyes, but the colors, so freaking stunning. And you can tell it looks intimidating, but when it was swatched, these colors are actually very like earthy tones, and tones that I think you could wear every single day. All right, next up we have got the blush palette. Now, the only blushes that I've tried from Melt are their cream blushes, so I was really eager to try this. As you can tell, it is 6 tones here. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these. All right, so these swatched beautifully as well. If you like these tones, the price tag of $58 would be worth it, because you are never going to run out of these, I swear. These are so pigmented, you just need the tiniest little bit to do both of your cheeks. In here, you are getting 4 mattes, and then you are getting like 2 shimmery type of blushes. You can wear these on their own as like a blush topper mixed in with these mattes. But yeah, I love the tones of this palette. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this look, and then afterwards we will do our final thoughts. All right, guys, we are gonna go ahead and get started with the eye look. I've got my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyelids. Now, this mirror I also got with this collection. I think is so beautiful. Look at that detailing, so stunning. This was $19, I believe. Now, it's not a huge mirror, as you can see, but I don't know, it's very gorgeous. So I constantly am using little handheld mirrors like this, so for me, I definitely will get a lot of use out of it. All right, so again, gorgeous packaging. Melt always kills it with the packaging. So stunning. Now, this palette, you know, as I have mentioned, it is $70. That is a pretty penny for a palette, I will say. But you are getting, it almost looks like a tattoo, doesn't it? You're getting this stunning packaging. Gorgeous. Big mirror, and I'm gonna go ahead and peel this off. So satisfying. And here are our shades here. So we have we've got 20 eyeshadows, and here they are. Now, I think with what I have on, I'm gonna try to stick maybe with this color. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Now, I will say, just looking at the color story, I do love the warm, like, transition shades, and then you've got some cool ones in here as well to go with, like, these purples and greens. So I do like how they did that. It's also a good mix of, like, shimmers and mattes in here as well. Gorgeous colors. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this one first. And I'm going to butcher these names. Mensage? I don't know. This one. Now, Melt eyeshadows can be a little bit finicky. They're definitely, I would not say like a beginner eyeshadow. They are very pigmented, and you can go overboard extremely quickly with these. They also, the mattes tend to not be the easiest to blend. It's definitely not like a ColourPop eyeshadow. This is just in, you know, past experiences that I have had with Melt. However, their color stories are just so beautiful, and they've got, just overall in general, I feel like a very grungy type of a feel. Their color stories, which I absolutely love. I think, you know, that's really what gets me with them, is their color stories, how unique they are. And yeah, I mean, their shades are just beautiful, beautiful, and very unique. All right, so you can tell, very like true to color, right? And that is what I love about Melt. Like, whatever you see pretty much is like what you are getting. All right, so that matte actually blended out pretty good, Now, I really love these purples too. I love the greens. I really want to do so many looks with this palette, but I think I'm gonna go into Nueve Vida, this shade here, and I'm gonna get that on like a flat but fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna pack this right, you see how pigmented that is? I'm gonna pack this right on the outer corner over here. And I'm just gonna do something very kind of simple today. It's a work day for me, so not trying to do anything too crazy, you know? Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna go back in with our little blending brush here. No additional product, and I'm just blending that out. And you see how it just softened that line right there? That's exactly what I wanted. All right, now I'm going to go in with my finger, and I'm going to get to this shade right here. Super creamy. It felt exactly like a cream. Like, it did not feel like a powder at all. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That is what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm gonna go in with this little tiny blender brush, and I'm gonna go back into this shade. Ooh, sorry, I'm blinding you guys. I'm gonna go back into this shade right here, the very first shade we went in with. And I'm gonna kind of look down and apply this right at all the edges. Okay. And then again, with nothing on this brush, or nothing additional, just gonna blend over all these edges over here. Okay. I think that that is going to do it for the eyes. I may add, I think I'm gonna get a smudger brush, and I'm gonna go into Charo, which is this super, super deep purple, almost a black. And I think I might run this just right at the lash line. And I did get some fallout with that shimmer shade just when I was applying it. So, you know, not a big deal for me, but I would definitely say do your eyes first. And that goes for like any milk palette, not just this one. Like, I definitely would just do my eyes first. Now, like Charlotte Tilbury or, you know, Natasha Denona, palettes like that, I think you're fine to do your base first if you really want to, but palettes like this that are super, super pigmented, super impactful, things like that, I always tend to do my eyes first. I just, better safe than sorry. So I'm just gonna clean this eye up. And there we go. That is this eye. I'm gonna go ahead and catch up the other eye, do my base makeup, and then we will be back for the blush palette. All right, I'm back. I've got on most of my other makeup, so I'm gonna go ahead and run you guys through what I've got on the rest of my face. Got on the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Hydro Foundation. I have mine in the shade 1.0. My Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I have mine in the shade 12N. I set everything down with the Urban Decay. This is just the all-nighter setting powder. It's just in limited edition Prince packaging. For bronzer, I use the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess. I really love this bronzer. It's a classic. Love it so much. Something else that I've really, really been loving is this Urban Decay Liquid Illuminator. This is so good. That is the highlighter that I've got on my face. I'm not even like a liquid illuminator type of a girl, but this one is really, really good. And I think that catches us up. I did my brows with the Anastasia Dip Brow in medium brown. And I think that's it. We're gonna go ahead and do the lower lash line now. So again, like how I lined my upper lash line with this color, I'm gonna go ahead and line the lower lash line as well. So I'm gonna go in with that first. And I'm just gonna take a little angled eyeliner brush. And I love these little impressions, all the little butterflies. To me, butterflies are like a new beginning, you know what I mean? Okay, and then I'm going to take this brush here. It's an eyeliner brush, I mean not an eyeliner, a packer brush, but it's quite like dense. This is actually from Manny MUA's line. This is a Lunar Beauty LBE 5. And I'm gonna go into this shade right here, that shade that we've got on the outer corner there. I'm gonna get this just on the tip, and I'm gonna get that very close to the lash line as well. Okay, and then with another flat brush, but a more like fluffy brush, I'm going to go into that first crease shade that we used. So basically like same colors we did up top, I'm just doing it on the bottom. I'm gonna tap that off, and I'm gonna put this like at the edge of those colors because I do want this to kind of peek through and just kind of blend everything together. And I'm gonna build it up just a little bit. You can tell that is going actually quite low. And I'm bringing this shade all the way in. Okay. So I think that's gonna be it on the eyes. I am gonna put something on the inner corner. There is this tequila shade. Kind of looks a little bit dark though. Alright, I think I'm just gonna go into like a classic. This is the Balm Mary Luminizer, such a brightening shade. I'm gonna go into that with a little pencil brush and put that. You see how bright that shade is? Right on the inner corner. And then I'm gonna bring it down and connect there. Okay. So that is the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead, catch up the other eye, and then we will do the blush palette. Alright guys, so that is the eye look. I really, really like it. I put on the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Legendary Lashes Volume 2 mascara. I think it makes you look like you have on fake lashes. I love that mascara so much. I want to get the full size. But yeah, and then for lips, I put on MAC Cork lip liner. That's the first time that I've used it. I actually really love the lip liner. Love the lip liner. The lipstick is a very, very unique color. This is from their, this is an amplified cream lipstick in burnished beige. And I think it matches good. It's just a very different color. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the blush. That is the only thing that I don't have on. So again, gorgeous packaging. Gonna go ahead and open this up. This retails for $58. And this is what this packaging looks like. All of this is like raised, so you can feel this. You've got the little butterfly on the back. And again, when you open it up, you've got the mirror with the butterflies. So freaking pretty. And then here are your shades here. So in general, again, I'm very hesitant with melt just because they tend to be very, very pigmented. I think I'm gonna kind of do a mixture of these two shades. This one is a shimmer and this one is a matte. I'm gonna just dip in between those two. Oh yeah, very pigmented. This is a very fluffy brush, and I literally, no pressure, I just, and that is enough to do both cheeks. Probably a little overdone, honestly. But yeah, so I would just say be very, very careful with the blush. Now there's nothing additional on this brush. I'm just blending out, or trying to blend out the edges. I don't want to take my big blending brush because I do have on that liquid highlighter and I just don't want to disrupt it that much. So, but this is blending beautiful. So very pigmented, but it does blend. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. And I think I'm gonna use, again, this little e.l.f. one. Sorry, not e.l.f. Makeup Revolution, but it is the e.l.f. collaboration. I've been loving this setting spray. It's so glowy and it smells just like cotton candy. Melts everything together like a MAC Fix Plus would. So yeah, loving that. Alright guys, so this is the finished makeup look. What do you guys think? Honestly, I'm really happy with it. I think it's a very like unique look. I love how these eyeshadows blended together, and then you can see how nicely that blush blended out. So these, I think maybe the formula for Melt is improving because, again, these were very pigmented, but they just blended out and were a lot easier to work with than I remember Melt eyeshadows being. And Melt is one of my favorite brands, but it is a little bit more finicky to work with, kind of like an Anastasia eyeshadow. You just have to know how to use them, but these were like super easy to use. All the colors that I used were super easy. Now I did only use 1, 2, 3, 4 colors from this palette, but overall I think that this color story is very cohesive. Like each line I could see a look, and of course you can mix these together, but I think that the colors in general go very well together. Oranges and reds and purples go great together. You've got all of these greens. You could do just a nice like monochromatic green type of a look. You've got these cooler tone transitions to go with these cooler shades. I just think the color story was very well thought out. It is very earthy and it's colorful, but like a neutral colorful palette to me, in my opinion. So yeah, I was actually more pleased with this palette than I thought that I would be. Now, $70, that is a very steep price, so you just have to, you know, weigh it if you think it's worth it for you. But I collect Melt. This palette is absolutely stunning. I love the butterflies. I love like what butterflies mean to me. It's like a new beginning. And yeah, I mean, this color story is freaking gorgeous. I love greens and purples, and then of course you've got your neutral warm tones in here as well. Just so good. And then for the blush palette, I think that these are some beautiful shades. I definitely think you need to use like a loosely packed type of a bristle brush, something that is very like mobile that you can blend with. I think if you go in with a super dense brush, you're gonna have all kinds of issues because these are super pigmented. I barely tapped into these with a very loosely packed brush, and it was enough to do both cheeks. Now, having said that, I do think it blended out beautifully. So as long as something is very pigmented but is blendable, I think it's very easy to work with. So I do like that, and I love these tones. These are tones that are right up my alley. I love very neutral tones, things that it doesn't even look like a blush. Like these, they don't even like look like a blush, right? Kind of like We all know Tarte Exposed, right? Colors like this that look like nothing in the pan, when you put them on your cheek, to me, they just do magic. And to me, that is what this color story is giving me. So I really, really love it. I love the mirror as well. I know that I will get a ton of use out of this. It is a little bit heavy, like definitely heavier than my ColourPop one, but I mean, look at the difference, you know? But yeah, I am highly pleased with this palette. Let me know if you guys picked it up. If there's anything else you want to see. Do you want to see more looks? I would love to do a green or a purple look with that palette. Y'all just let me know. But I hope that you guys have a great day or night wherever you are. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.